Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. So, today I'm coming with something different, which is part of the segment of the channel. So, a lot of people from my general group asked a lot of questions based on Forex. So, I have a ghost guy that will be asking questions on your behalf behind camera, and then I'll be answering those questions. Just sit back and enjoy.
So should we get into it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's basically simple questions that your people have been asking. So the first one, it says here, what is the trading strategy and how did you develop it?
Why do you want to know my strategy? Just joking. So, personally, I use pure price action mixed with smart money concept. How did I develop it? So, for a very long time, I've been just using pure price action on its own, till the point that I saw consistent losses. In me seeing consistent losses, not that I started with consistent losses, it was just profits, making money and all of those stuff with jewels here and there. So, in that being said, as you definitely know that market conditions change every now and then. I was a person that wasn't easy when it comes to like understanding that the market conditions have changed and I have to adapt to that. Until I had consistent losses into a point that for a moment I just felt like, what if Forex is no more working for me? And then I had to change my mindset from that and focusing on the problem. In me focusing on the problem, I saw that my strategy, it's not that it's no more working, it's just that it needs modification according to how the market conditions have changed. So that's how on my side I got introduced to adding smart money concepts into pure price action.
Okay, good one. So speaking of losses, can you explain your thought process during a losing streak?
Pardon?
Can you explain your thought process during a losing
My
streak?
thought
Yeah.
process. When it comes to that, I don't want to lie. Having consistent losses makes you demotivated. It makes you even think that this thing is not for you. It's like one thing about me when Forex is not going my way, everything in my life just shuts down. You suddenly start to feel that like everything is just against you. Everything is just against you until you go back to track. After that, and then that's where you see that, okay, it's not that it wasn't working for me, it was just not the right time for me. So what I can advise you guys is that if you are facing that, just make sure you keep on pushing. I usually say that keep on pushing even when you see no progress. Keep on pushing even when people are talking. Just keep on pushing until you get back on your feet.
The third
Did
one.
I answer the question correctly or you
Yeah,
weren't
you,
asking
you
that?
kind of did, but it's more related to trading.
Okay.
Because you did speak about losing streak, you did speak about your winning streak. So in your winning streak, obviously you gain more confidence. You want to trade more. You want to expand your watch list, right? So inversely, so in your losing streak, what would you do? What are the things that are running through your mind?
As I said, on my thoughts, it was running that I'm a failure. Forex is not for me. Obviously, I'll wanna stop trading somehow. Yo, this sweet is disturbing me. Obviously, I wanna like stop trading somehow or like have a break, which is something that I wouldn't advise people to take. Obviously, if you are having a losing streak, you don't wanna like see yourself losing more. So you wanna take a break from that and have like a pause somehow in order for you to just get back on your feet and all of those stuff. And which your break is your setback. Taking that break is a setback. Because when you come back, it will be something else in the market, not what you were trying to discover at that time during your losses. It will be something else.
Okay, that's good. The third one says here, how do you manage your risk in your trading?
How do I manage my risk? Besides that, as mentor, we usually say that risk what you're willing to lose. But on my side, I usually mostly risk 1% per trade of the initial balance, risking to like with the risk reward ratio of like to gain boma 2% or 3%. But it's always usual reasonable risk management. And besides, if it happens that okay, I'm taking from smaller time frames because it differs with time frames. If I take my entry from 4 hourly time frame, obviously a stop loss will just be a little bit bigger depending on how long am I willing to hold that trade. And also, if I take it from my 15-minute time frame, it'll be kind of different. What's this thing called? The reward ratio will be bigger, very, very big compared to the risk. Reason being is that the reward will be checked on our 4-hourly time frame, and the risk while I entered on my 15-minute time frame, and the risk also will be seen on my 15-minute time frame. I'm not sure if you want me to elaborate further on how would I do that.
No, it makes sense, but I don't know for the general viewer, how would he perceive it? Because you're saying that your risk reward ratio varies from time frame to time frame.
Yes.
Can we say maybe setup to setup?
Yeah, you can say setup to setup, but I'd like to stick to time frame to time frame. Reason being for that, as I said that, let me just make a typical example. Let's say I analyze on my 4-hourly time frame. On my 4-hourly time frame, we're in an uptrend, having consistent break-off structures to the top and all of those stuff. Sharp. From there, on my 4-hourly time frame, I'll wait for price to come and retest at my fib or at my fair value gap that I would have marked by that time. So in that being said, in me looking at that on my 4-hourly time frame, obviously my stop loss will be a little bit below the previous higher low that was created. So that stop loss will be kind of huge compared to if I am going to check for a stop loss way on my 15-minute time frame. If I'm now scaling on my 15-minute time frame, I'll want to see what. Obviously, if we are retracing or going to retest before even going to go to the upside again to give us a new break of structure, we will be creating a series of lower lows and lower highs. Therefore, I'll want to see a change of character on my smaller time frame of 15-minute time frame. The minute I see that change of character, that will be a sign that now the buys are ready to take in place. We have reached the fair value gap. We have covered the fair value gap, and also we have reached my levels on my fib. So that will be a stronger confirmation that now price is ready. Why? Because we have changed character. And then my stop loss will be on the previous lower low. You see, so now the stop loss decreases. Why? Because I'm on my 15-minute time frame and I've saw that change of character. And then my target is still on our 4-hourly time frame. I'm not sure if it makes sense.
Makes sense. So getting back to the risk thing, you're saying you dig into a 1% risk.
In most cases, yes.
So the more the balance, the higher the risk, or you still keep it to the 1%?
Obviously, the more is the balance, the more the 1% will be. Like, for example, if I have 100 Rand, my 1% will be how much?
Sorry?
100 Rand. My 1% would be how much in 100 Rand? 10%.
So you're risking 1 Rand for every how much?
Yeah, now me get 1%.
Yes.
Hey, 1% of the...
Now keep it to profit balances of 100,000.
Yeah, let's keep it, because now
1,000.
if I'm generalizing it and making it to ZAR, it's kind of not making sense.
Wait. So getting back to the risk part, are you saying the more the balance, the higher the risk, or are you still sticking to the 1% risk?
Obviously, as the balance is more, even that 1% will be more. For example, if I'm making an example with 100,000, if I'm making an example with 100,000, 1% is how much? It's
$1,000.
Is it $1,000? Yes, it's $1,000. Yes. Is it?
So your risk per trade will be $1,000.
Yes, per trade per day, it's 1%.
So okay,
so if I want to open different trades, I'll have to break down that 1%.
Okay, that's in a sense of if your balance is still going up, right?
Yes.
So if now your starting balance is 100,000 and then you keep decreasing your balance.
Obviously, I'll have to decrease my my risk also. Why? Because I'm below that. I'm below that 100,000.
Okay, it makes sense. So we have another question here. Question number 4. It says here, how do geopolitical events influence your trading decisions?
Oh, geopolitical events meaning like fundamentals.
Yes, such as interest rates.
How does it affect my what?
Your trading decisions.
When it comes to geopolitical events, I'd say that they don't change the market direction. They just bring volatility in the market, meaning that the market moves faster than it was supposed to. So they don't change it. They don't change the direction. Personally, I believe so. They don't change the direction. They just bring volatility in the market, meaning that the market moves faster than it was supposed to.
And since we are on uncertain grounds, if it happens that you get an instance where you're experiencing a directional change, what would you consider that as?
Structure being disrespected. I carry on when it comes to Forex, we have the technical side, we
Yes.
have the fundamental side,
Yes.
which the technical side is all about um, previous data, patterns, the flow, something that is happening right there. And right there, I'll be using my formula to predict the next move. Or I should say, I'll be using my strategy that I tested that it is effective in order to be used to predict the next move. And then when it comes to the fundamental side, it's all about how the economy is doing. So I can never predict that. I can never have a formula for that. So the minute obviously the news comes and it's negative, and on my side, when it comes to the technical analysis, it's positive. Obviously, it has high chances of doing what? Of disrespecting. And it disrespecting, I'll have to go with what I'm given because I follow what I'm given by the market. I don't think my
So
own
now
stuff.
that say for instance we're in a situation of a buy model in place, and then you have all of your structural changes, all of your confirmations that you look for, and then a news release comes out to invalidate your setup. What do you do then? Do you now step aside, or do you engage with what the market is doing to adapt to a new setup?
Okay, I can say it's in two ways. When it comes to the other one, it is in two ways. Depends, is it invalidating my setup completely by maybe changing character, changing direction, or it's invalidating my setup by just grabbing liquidity and continuing in my direction. So it can, because it can't just grab liquidity, hit my stop loss, and still go to my direction. Or you are speaking about just changing direction completely.
It invalidates the whole setup.
Okay, if it's changing direction completely, obviously I'll have to step back first and see that is it completely changing my direction. After I've saw that, I go with what I'm seeing right there. Because the minute it has invalidated my setup, it will mean that we are no more going on the buy side, but going on the sell side. Because it's only always between two things. It can't just move sideways. It's either going up or down.
Makes sense. So let's get into the psychology part. There's a question here that says, "What role does trading psychology play in your success?"
Yo, that's a hard one. All right, when it comes to psychology, I feel like psychology is everything in Forex. Psychology is something that I can say kills a lot, which still kills me also, but not like it did before. But yeah, like when it comes to psychology and technical analysis is simply easy because it's something that can be mastered even by a grade 5 person. Why? Because it's just you having to look at previous data in order to determine what are your future movements. And then when it comes to psychology, the hard part about it is that you don't have anything to look backwards to. So it's something that you experience at that time and you have to deal with it at that time and all of those stuff, emotions involved and all of those stuff. And if psychology is not maintained, you are most likely not to be a profitable trader because you can be a good technical analyst and still not be profitable. Why? Because your psychology is not good. So if you can master psychology more than everything, you are easily going to be a successful trader. So, and then going back to your question on what role does it play in my life? Like it plays a vital role simply because with my psychology being at a good point, I'm able to like manage my emotions also. I'm able to like not revenge trade. I'm able to know when setup is just against me and I shouldn't force it. I'm able to cut my losses short. I'm able to just step away out of the market if I'm not seeing what I want to see, because that's still part of psychology. Why am I saying that? Because simply sometimes we just want to trade even if this thing is not ready, but just because we have that drive, we have that adrenaline to trade, we will want to trade.
Okay, that's good. So you have a trading plan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question in relation to trading plans. It says here, have you ever deviated from your trading plan? If so, what were the consequences?
Okay, I don't know English. What is deviated?
Have you went against? Have you ever went against
Okay.
your
All
trading
right.
plan?
When it comes to that, yeah, quite a lot of times. I don't want to lie. As I said, that psychology plays a huge role. So, in that being said, I've like went against my trading plan a couple of times. For example, it will say I should have these three confirmations before I enter a trade. But just because I want to trade and all of those stuff, there's just drive to trade. And then I'll just get those two confirmation. Maybe even that second one, I'm forcing it. And then I'll just enter that trade. Which in most cases, it doesn't end well.
Okay. So, well, the consequences was that it didn't end well.
Nah.
It didn't blow or anything.
Nah, it usually doesn't end well. Okay, on my side, it's not easy to blow. It's not easy to blow. Because at all times, I usually say I'd rather have something to trade with the next day rather than to risk it all. So blowing is not really.
So it means that you use calculated stop loss for
Yes,
trades.
I calculate everything.
Okay. So speaking of stop losses and not blowing, there's a win rate and a loss rate question here. It says here, what is your win rate and how do you measure it?
Yo. My win rate. I'd say it's ranging between 70 to 80%, or let me just say 60 to 70. And I'm not leaving that other 30 just because it's for losses. No, it's just because I don't take much trades. On my side, it's not about always trading, but it's about getting the right or the best setup, I can say. So in most cases, I feel like a lot of people confuse trading a lot and just getting a good setup. So they feel like you have to trade a lot in order to make a lot of money. While personally, I feel like that you just need that one best setup that you can put the right lot size and then you make money.
So you said that if it's a 70% win rate, you don't leave the 30% to chance, maybe like to losses, right?
No.
So how would you measure that 70%? For you to get to the 70%, how would you say are your measurements to say that, okay, my win rate is this much?
Okay, on that, it's because I can't like say it's 90% or anything. But the reason behind me saying that, it's simply because I win more than I lose. And at the same time, I don't want to get near that that percentage of 90 to 100 and all of those stuff. Because also it will mess up with my psychology. I'll feel like I own the market. So it's why I just want to stick there.
Okay, speaking of losses, how much have you lost in trading?
Well, hey, I can't even count. But I know I would have had mentions now. I would have been owning businesses. I can't even mention.
Okay. So here's a question about the future of the Forex market. What do you think about the future of the Forex market? He goes on to say, he gives an example about prop firms and the Forex brokerage space. Do you know, right? Prop firms come and go, right?
Prop firms come and go.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Certain companies
Yes, certain
launch,
companies,
yes.
yeah.
Certain companies launch with the idea of giving discounted accounts and cheap accounts, only to find about 8 to 10 months later, the company is non-existent. So can you speak on that and give your idea on what do you think the future direction is in terms of the prop firm space and the Forex market?
In terms of the prop firm space in the Forex market, I'd say that it is something that is still going to last long if they don't do what they did with brokers. And which now it's quite scary because I'm sorry to say this, but it's the truth. It's quite scary because South African brokers are now moving to prop firms, which what they are doing there is what they wanna do on the prop firm side, which is like bringing a mess. Which is bringing a mess. Because in most cases, I don't want to speak or mention any brokers, but in most cases, they know what they do when it comes to South African brokers. You also, guys, you'll know what South African brokers do. So, in that being said, that's what they'll be bringing on the prop firm side, which now will take us back into us saying that a trader is a scammer. Because now, when with people that were trading brokers and trading prop firms, we were now able to differentiate and say, okay, this one is a real trader. Because one thing about prop firms, you cannot scam prop firms and all of those stuff.
They're put on the
Like,
test constantly.
yes, you can't fake withdrawals. You can't fake that you passed an account and all of those stuff. If you are using prop firms that are legit and that have always been there in the game and that are regulated, So in that being said, the South African brokers are now venturing into prop firms and they want to ruin that. Like
So you believe since they're venturing into the props from space, they can do things such as
definitely they'll now be able to
faking withdrawals and
they'll fake withdrawals, fake certificates, they'll fake a lot of things in order to cause just a mess, just like how they did on brokers. And then now we'll be going back to square one
okay.
of not being able to differentiate a
So
trader.
since you said based on certain companies and business models that they use, they can say a forex trader is a scammer, right? So speaking on that, what do you think are the biggest misconceptions of forex trading?
Biggest misconception in what way? Myths.
Yes.
When it comes to that, I'd say that the biggest misconception is that because this trader is driving, it means he's making it. Another biggest misconception is that because you see running profits, it's money that will get inside the bank. There's a lot of people trading demos out here and faking everything. Because they are sharing to you guys, showing you like fake flexi lifestyle and all of those stuff, it means they are making it. That's not true. And also the biggest misconception is that you can make
So
you
people-
can make it in forex in less than a month.
So people generally think that if somebody has a good lifestyle, they're actually making money.
Definitely.
Or else it can be something totally different.
Definitely, they'll say that you, Tiran, you're not making money because you are not posting your flashy thingies and all of those stuff. And which on my side, I usually don't defend myself. It's like, it's okay. At the end of the day, I'm not doing it for people. So for the mere fact that now I know what is happening, that's all that is important. So now people live in the mindset that you gotta prove that you're making money.
That's good. So speaking about proving and defending yourself, so it's kind of like a psychological pressure. So it says here, how do you handle psychological pressures when taking losses?
When taking losses,
Yes.
okay, psychological pressures.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Meaning if you did good the past month, you did now exceptional results, and now you're having more than a losing streak, you're having countless weeks that are losing streaks. How do you deal with that pressure? Do you tell yourself that, listen, this account is going to breach, or I should consider getting a new account, or I'm able to pick up the account out of drawdown? How do you handle your way out of that whole
Okay.
psychological barrier that is?
So in most cases, I usually don't give up until I breach or I blow, which blowing is something that is rare. Excuse, as I explained. So in that being said, as we spoke about a trading plan, I have a trading plan, and my trading plan. I have a trading plan, and my trading plan has that. Okay, per day, how much are you willing to risk? Per week, how much are you willing to risk? And per month, how much are you willing to risk? So that assists me in being guided in not blowing. But when it comes to the prop firm side, obviously there's no blowing, but there's breaching. So in that being said, I usually don't give up or don't open a space to say, I'll get another account. I'll continue fighting for that account until it happens that I breach or something. And then from there, I have to reset. I have to go back to my basics. Which, okay, what did I do wrong? What is it that I'm not doing the way I'm supposed to? Which you'll find that it's either there's sometimes that I was cheating my trading plan. If I'm not cheating my trading plan, now losses were all over my head. I was now no more trading my strategy, but trading to recover, trading to just prove a point with this has to work. At some point we get stubborn into a point that we like, after having consecutive losses, we're just like, this has to make sense, this has to work. So sometimes I'll find out that was the problem, and at times so good in it's just not the right week for me, because it's not always that it'll happen just how I want it to happen.
Okay, so here, you answered that one well. Here's one of the last questions. It speaks about giving up. Have you ever considered quitting trading altogether? And if so, what was the reason behind?
Okay, I once considered giving up on Forex, or I should say quitting. I remember it was, I had traded gold. And it was my first time losing so much, and to a point that you imagine losing so much after making so much. So that time I was just like, you know what, this thing is actually not for me, and all of those stuff. After losing that trade on gold, also it was December, trading on December, it's another stress. So yeah, I was just like, "Aish, what if this thing is not for me? What if this thing is just not for me?" As I said, also, I'm a person that's quite stubborn and like sometimes opening my mind to seeing that now the market condition has changed, meaning now I have to modify my strategy or slightly twist it a little bit. I'm a person that wants to focus on it, wants to like make sure ukuthi eish angiphazami uyabona. So yeah.
So the reason was behind trading in December. You took a big loss on gold. Okay. So here's the last question. The last question speaks about prop firms and challenges. In terms of purchasing a challenge account, how can you tell if a prop firm is real or a fake prop firm? Is it real or legit?
Aish. When it comes to that, besides checking their background, because now their background can easily be cheated, and you can never have like full information based on the papers on the prop firm that okay they have everything that is needed in order to operate. Just like the biggest prop firms that we thought they had everything, unfortunately they didn't also. So in this time around, I wouldn't say much when it comes to the papers because you wouldn't get access to those papers to know that the company has them. So I can say check the background of the prop firm. How long has it been operating? How and people have they been paid? Check the reviews. At the same time, in me saying check the reviews, it's quite hard because they scam these things in nowadays. They're able to review themselves and all of those stuff. But just make sure you check how long they have been operating. Have they been paying? How many people have been paid? Like a lot. Check slight, small things. You know? I feel like, yeah.
So
Ask
generally,
about
it gets
it
harder and harder
also.
to check legitimacy of the firm.
Yeah, I don't want to lie. It gets harder and even harder. Because as I said, that even the biggest firms that we thought they were legit, they've been running for a very long time, but they still were able to shut down. Which in most cases, I think it was a matter of fact of they didn't have what. They were under what on the MetaTrader side and all of those stuff. So they need
Some are
someone.
licensing as well.
Yes. So they need someone that is licensed and pays for meta codes, what. So other prop firms weren't paying for that. So already, if a prop firm is using Boma Match Trader, what, on my side, it's already a red flag. I don't want to lie.
Okay, the last one here, it's not a question, but a female trader seeking advice from another female trader. How would you best advise an aspiring trader, of which is a female, trying to get into the space?
Okay, they're still trying to get into it. Females. All right, to advise that female, I'd say that be mentally ready for anything. Be mentally ready for anything. Be ready be ready for discouragement. Be ready for insult. Um, be ready for those stuff, and just make sure that your mindset is in a point that okay, no matter what people say, no matter what people post about me, you are all about still making it. You are not making it for anyone but yourself. You know the reason you wanted to start trading. You didn't want to start trading because people told you so. You wanted to start trading because you had certain goals you wanted to reach, or even you saw it working for other people and then you were like, I want this thing to work for me too. So in that being said, just shut the noise. Shut the noise and do you. Just shut the noise and do you. Know that you'll be discouraged, dog. You'll cry. You will cry. I don't want to lie. As we are emotional beings, small things tends to like make us a little bit weak again. So in that being said, be ready to cry, but still cry while you keep pushing. Just keep on moving. Just keep on moving. And I usually say that whenever people speak bad about you, just take it as motivation instead of something that will discourage you. Because in most cases, a dog doesn't chase a car that is not moving. So the minute people start speaking about you, whether it's badly or what, it simply means that there is something that you are doing. So keep on pushing, keep on moving, keep on doing those things. It's possible. It's possible. That's what I can say.
Okay, so with the list that we have, those were the only questions that came up from your social media following, your Forex community. So Yeah, I think you best described yourself and your experience in the forex space.
All right. So thank you guys for asking those questions. Hoping it was helpful to you guys and hoping you'll enjoyed these questions with my ghost man. With my ghost man. But if you enjoyed the video, just make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell in order to be notified whenever I drop a new video. Nonetheless, this is Tiran the goat, the one and only female goat in the industry. And peace out.